The world of the bold and the beautiful is no stranger to intense drama, fierce rivalries, and emotional turmoil. But the latest twist in the Forrester family saga promises to be one of the most memorable and shocking moments in the show's history. As the Forrester fashion show reaches its climax, tensions between Brooke and Taylor come to a head, leading to a confrontation that has unforeseen consequences. Fashion show success, Brooke's moment, but a dangerous plan for Taylor. The Forrester family has worked tirelessly to create a phenomenal fashion show that has captivated the industry, with Eric and Ridge both rejoicing in the show's success. However, for one key member of the Forrester family, the event's success is marred by personal conflict and unresolved tension. Brooke, who is set to be the centerpiece of the fashion show, is about to wear a dress with deep sentimental value. The dress, which was her wedding dress, symbolizes her love for Ridge and what they once had. But little does she know that Taylor has other plans that threaten to ruin everything. Brooke knows about her complicated past with Taylor, but she believes that her moment in the spotlight at the fashion show will once again cement her place in Ridge's life. Unfortunately for her, Taylor's presence casts a shadow over those hopes. Taylor, in an effort to secure her place in Ridge's life and prove that she is the one he truly loves, intends to ruin Brooke's moment of triumph. The confrontation, a locked room, a stolen opportunity, and a fierce fight as the models prepare to take the runway. Tensions between Taylor and Brooke come to a head. Taylor, feeling increasingly excluded from the spotlight, decides to take drastic action. Realizing that Brooke will once again be the star of the show, Taylor locks both herself and Brooke in the dressing room, ensuring that Brooke will miss her moment on the runway. Brooke, furious at being betrayed, attempts to escape the room, but to no avail. The situation escalates as Taylor and Brooke exchange words. Taylor taunts Brooke, reminding her that Ridge chose her, while Brooke accuses Taylor of always being second choice. The exchange escalates as emotions run wild, leading to an explosive confrontation. In a fit of rage, Taylor grabs a pair of scissors and begins cutting into Brooke's wedding dress. Brooke, furious and determined to stop Taylor from ruining her dress, wrestles with her opponent. The tension in the room becomes apparent as both women fight over the scissors. But in the heat of the moment, things take a tragic turn. During the violent struggle, the scissors slip from Taylor's hands and stab Brooke in the leg. Brooke screams in pain, but the conflict doesn't end there. In a desperate attempt to defend herself, Brooke snatched the scissors from Taylor's hand and, in a moment of panic and fear, stabbed them into Taylor's chest. The force of the blow was fatal. As soon as the scissors touched Taylor, Brooke was overcome with horror and disbelief. The reality of what she had just done hit her like a tsunami, and she screamed in fear. Her body shook with shock at what had happened. In the chaos and confusion, Brooke tried to process what had just happened, but it was too late. Taylor, her longtime rival, lay motionless on the floor. Brooke stood there, her hands covered in blood and her heart broken. The weight of her actions hit her hard, and she realized that her life had been irrevocably changed. As the reality of the situation sank in, Ridge entered the dressing room, only to be confronted with a horrifying sight. His ex-wife, Brooke, stood shaking and covered in blood, while Taylor lay motionless on the floor. The love of his life was dead, and the woman he still had feelings for stood before him, overwhelmed by the weight of her actions. Ridge was stunned by the scene before him. The woman he once loved was dead, and the woman he was with had just committed an unforgivable act. The devastation on his face was evident as he took in the tragic scene. Brooke, in shock, tried to explain what had happened, but she was at a loss for words. She was overcome with guilt and fear, unsure how to justify her actions. She had not intended to kill Taylor, but the struggle and sudden violent nature of the confrontation had resulted in an unintentional death. Ridge, torn between his grief over Taylor's death and his concern for Brooke, could not process the gravity of the situation. The woman he once called his wife was gone, and the woman he loved so deeply was responsible. His heart was broken, and his world shattered in an instant. As Ridge struggled to make sense of the situation, the police were called to the scene. Authorities quickly arrived to investigate the circumstances surrounding Taylor's death. Brooke, covered in blood and visibly shaken, is immediately questioned. The investigation begins, and the question on everyone's mind is whether Brooke will face charges for her rival's death. Brooke, in a state of shock, insists that it was an accident, but the police are not quick to believe her. They investigate the crime scene, finding the scissors used in the fatal attack. The evidence is overwhelming, and it is clear that Brooke's actions, whether intentional or not, led to Taylor's death. As the investigation continues, Ridge is forced to face the reality of what happened. His family is devastated by the tragedy, and his emotions are a whirlwind of grief, anger, and confusion. He struggles with the fact that Taylor is gone and Brooke, the woman he still cares about, is responsible. The future of the Forrester family, a family in crisis. With Taylor's death, the Forrester family is thrown into chaos. Ridge, Steffi, and Thomas must now deal with the aftermath of losing a beloved family member. Steffi, in particular, is grieving the death of her mother. She will struggle to accept the fact that her mother is gone, and that the woman responsible for her death was someone she once considered a close friend. For Brooke, the road ahead is rocky. She is haunted by guilt and fear, knowing that her actions have caused irreparable harm to the Forrester family. The consequences of her actions will affect everyone around her, and it is unclear how she will move forward. As the investigation into Taylor's death unfolds, the Forrester family will have to find a way to heal and rebuild. The rift between Brooke and Ridge, already strained, will only deepen. But will the Forresters be able to move past this tragedy? Only time will tell.
Oh,